This playing card reading uses just a plain bicycle set of cards, but it's a zombified one. We're using the zombified deck. These are the card backs. I thought it'd be fun for Halloween. So here we go. This is what we get. It's just a random reading about two people. So many people have seen me do the double line of 3 for the Lenormand. Here we're doing it with the playing cards. I found this a very powerful spread. You look at the reds and blacks alone here, you can see we have a kind of a predominance of the red cards, which is leaning toward the positive. Starts with a bump. There's a bump just before the finish line. It ends up good. So this is a timeline from left to right, and this card modifies the card above it, just like in Lenormand. So what we've got here, first of all, the Queen of Swords is a professional woman, a gifted leader, someone who takes charge. It's a kind of a ambitious woman. With this particular card, whether she's good or bad depends on the cards that surround her. Because this modifies her, this will tell us it's good. This is something you hope that comes true, or wish you hope that comes true. This is the best card in the deck. This is the wish card, and when you get this card, it's considered happiness. You're getting your goals, all your deep desires are going to come true and manifest. Even when this card is surrounded by spades, it doesn't mean that the dream won't come true. So when we see this down here, but it means that there'll be an obstacle or some kind of delay or something that kind of like a burp you have to go through before you get the outcome you want. So this is a very positive thing for this woman leader. For this here, we get the Joker, and when I get the Joker, for me personally, it means either someone who's a fool, like a fool for someone in love, and there's not reciprocal feelings, or it could just mean that they're not thinking clearly. Also, for me, it can actually mean someone who's kind of an idiot or troublemaker. When you think of idiot, it's kind of like just like, why do you keep doing the things you keep doing? This is also a very positive card over this person. When you get the 10 of Hearts, this is kind of like whatever makes the seeker happy is carried through this card. It's about success. It's about favorably, it's a favorable influence on everything around it. And unless this card is surrounded by spades, it's good. Now the card below it is also good, but it does have spades to both sides of it. So it's like sandwiched in between two spades that says kind of just be careful. This is the worst spade because this indicates a person who's good. We've got this over here to kind of be concerned about, and this does modify this. But this is also about a long-term committed relationship to something or somebody, and it also can, notice we've got 2 10s here. 2 10s can indicate traveling between states, so in between here and there. So suppose this were our political candidates, this is them traveling between different states right now. This is also, these are good cards under here, and this is a physical union. Funny, these 2 cards can indicate like moving into a house or having a housewarming party or a marriage or commitment, some kind of like bonding thing that's about to happen. And when you get these 2 cards, at first I was wondering what it would have to do with like moving into a house, but we've got the White House, so that's very interesting. And this can also actually be a physical union, relationship between 2 people. So if we look about what is the relationship between these 2 people, we look here. And we've got the 10 of Swords, which is the worst, next to the the 10 of Spades. Next to the Ace of Spades, I consider this the worst card in the deck. This is about misfortune. This is ruin. Think of the 10 of Swords that you see in tarot. It's not that different in terms of what you get the feeling. It's all these terrible negative emotions about grief and fear and defeat, and this casts kind of a negative shadow on this entire spread. So this is when your worst fears start coming true, and it's considered kind of like something that's obsessive as well, over and over and over obsessive, that creates stress. And if I think of this as the politics, it's like the political anxiety disorder so many of us are going through. It also can be like shady lies. It can be deals with things and deceits. It can be just when you think of the 10 of Swords with someone with all the swords in their back, this card does kind of align with that card and that kind of like tragic ending. But it's not the last card here. It's this big dip we have to go through, this big stressful thing we all have to go through. But it ends well because it ends with this kind of effective, affectionate 2 of Hearts. Good news about something you want. It's what, when you're, whoever's asking of these cards, it's what the seeker or the querent is looking to get. And because it's the last card of the spread, it talks about the outcome. So it's about anticipating something good that you hope. So these people are interacting. This big dip, I think, is what many people are going through right now. This very stressful, obsessive, very deep, almost like This is like an anxiety, a generalized anxiety that's happening between people, arguments and debates and all this kind of grievous stuff. But it will come out the other side, and it will end well. And the Two of Hearts does denote a good ending, and you'll see that as you look through the reds and blacks here, that we're going through the big dip, but it will come back up.